At least when Abu Dhabi came in, they did have the money, whereas Shinawatra merely pretended he had the money and was an awful man as well. So the whole thing was a nightmare, and that certainly, for me and for a lot of other City fans who had some moral fibre, that was the beginning of the change. Where if we are being hawked around like a Victorian prostitute, and it felt really uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I didn't want it, and maybe I wouldn't have wanted to go back to the terrible days of the 1990s, but we did have some integrity at that point, and we have none now. We have a lot of trophies, but no integrity, and that's my unfortunate take on it. Others can calm. Plenty of football fans. Look at all the ones in Newcastle. They can compartmentalize. Look at what they've done, the players they've brought. Look at the new manager. Look at the football we're playing. And they can somehow compartmentalize that it doesn't really matter where the money comes from if the result on the field is so enticing and successful. And I've never been able to do that. It's never seemed to be worth the candle to support a team that is so mired in that kind of controversy, however brilliantly its players play.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the source of the money powering all of Man City's success. I mean, would you feel differently if it was just an, English petrochemical billionaire as Manchester United have just attracted, or an American billionaire as owns Liverpool or Arsenal? Is it the specifics of the background of who's come in, or is it more about the immense power that some people have in our society to take control of these things almost single?
Well, I'm not crazy about the American hedge fund managers, who own the club. I think my own feeling is it should be like Germany, where in Germany the clubs in the Bundesliga cannot sell more than a 49% interest to foreign owner. I mean that's how I would see it. Is it worse? Yes, it probably is, because although the Glazers, however, whatever you say about the Glazers, they didn't put people in prison, as far as I'm aware. And, there could be you can say all sorts of horrible things about the American owners, but you can't say that's who they were, that they were. So the battle, the Premier League has become a battleground between American hedge funds and oil-rich nation states, and it's no longer the English Football League. I mean, it's not what I grew up. Not only just not what I grew up with. It's not anything I can look at it with any sense of pride. Also, it's the best league in the world. The way they do say that it's the best league in the world, and everybody loves the Premier League. And look how much the television rights are worth in overseas countries. Yes, but none of that resonates with me at all. But I'm prepared to accept that I'm 74 years old and antediluvian, and not everybody shares my point of view, to which they are entitled. My problem is that I'm not entitled to my point of view, though they're entitled to theirs. And I think what it is nervousness. It's one reason why I've never been on social media, because I don't want the death threats that come. I've never been on social media. I'm not available for anything other than this kind of conversation. And I just hate the bile and hatred that's come, and it's come out of football turning into a different game than the one I grew up playing and loving. And I love the game. It's the stuff that goes on outside of it that I just found so hateful. And I can't help but say it. I think it's a conspiracy of silence that allows these clubs to get away with it.
I mean, I am curious about the first couple of major victories that City had after the takeover. The first major cup final in 30 years, first win since 1976 with the 2011 FA Cup. A 6-1 victory over United at Old Trafford the next season on the way to that Sergio Aguero goal to win the Premier League title on the final day. In a vacuum, I would think that those moments felt like water in the desert for Man City fans.
Oh, it did. For 95%.
Was there still a purity to it for you? Yeah.
No, it didn't. Because I knew who they were as soon as they came in. I knew exactly who they were and didn't like. The first thing they did, I wrote a big piece in one of the English papers about the feelings I've just expressed. I got a lot of abuse, but through the paper. It didn't come to me personally. And the club took all my books out of the bookshop and wouldn't put them back in again. Yeah, and that kind of mean, petty spitefulness, You know, I was a fanatical City supporter 50 years, 60 years before they'd even heard the words Manchester City. How dare they? How dare they? What an appalling bunch. And that's kind of how I still feel. Although, you know, I'll own up again to another inconsistency, which is that you've asked me to talk about City on the eve of the Derby weekend. And the one game in the year that I watch is the City United games, because you put the blue shirts and the red shirts on a football field and all the old feelings come back. I can't stop that. The power of the emotion of the football is so great that for 90 minutes, twice a year, it overcomes all the prejudices I have elsewhere. By the end of the game, it's different. And certainly if we've lost or not won, I feel badly about it. But this was the time to prove that we're the better side. And I've still take more pleasure in watching United lose in most of the season than I do in watching City win, because City's wins are so predictable and boring, and United losing just gives me a sense of great joy and glee, as if City had won a trophy in its own way. So that's where I am with that. I love the derby matches because I can actually watch my club and allow myself to support them in the way I've always done.